Welcome to the Quick Galloper YouTube channel. Please like, subscribe, share, and hit the notification bell. Quick Gallop, jhay.com, and its YouTube channel, The Quick Galloper, continue their comprehensive coverage of the 2025 Jamaica Cup race day, with a spotlight on the most recent victories of the 12 contenders in the Jamaica Cup itself. This feature presents each horse's last win, showcased in the order of their post-position draw.
Starter Michael Sims is ready, and they're off and racing. As usual, King Pie didn't get away too sharply, as Unruly Don on the far side looks to just have that lead from Brenda Boy. Then comes Battle Angel, Crown Chaser, and racing at the back of the field, King Pie. They make the way on the back stretch, and it is Unruly Don by about 3 lengths in front of Brenda Boy racing in second. Coming up on the inside, that's Crown Chaser overtaking Battle Angel, and about 8 or 10 lengths before we come to King Pie. Passing the 5, and the order is almost the same. It is Unruly Don. Coming on the inside, that's Crown Chaser with Purpose. Right there, too, in close attendance, that's Brenda Boy. They're 6 lengths in front of Battle Angel, and another 8 before we come to King Pie racing at the back. Passing the 4 and head toward the 3, and it is on that lead, Unruly Don. Unruly Don going on another length in front of racing in second, Brenda Boy. Crown Chaser is hustled up and asked for more, getting closer all the time. Battle Angel, so too at the back of the field. King Pie getting into gear there at the top of the lane, and it is Unruly Don trying to take them all the way. Crown Chaser with another crack at Unruly Don. Unruly Don on the inside, Crown Chaser on the outside. Crown Chaser now points from Unruly Don, still there, battling back hard, but it's Crown Chaser. Unruly Don is not yet finished. Crown Chaser keeping on from Unruly Don. Crown Chaser getting the better of Unruly Don in the Eros Day Stakes Trophy. It's a 2 for devastating the Indoor King. Crown Chaser beats Unruly Don. Then comes the Brenda Boy, Battle Angel back in fourth.
They're off for the Natalie Berger. First start, Titan Tempo just toward the back of the field, along with Brenda Boy. As unexpectedly, Captain Sparrow has been put through and gets that lead, leaving the 7. Mac and Rome in the green chasing with Titan Tempo. Battle Angel racing in behind them as they make their way now toward the 6. Brenda Boy is asked to make some progress, and the General trails the 6-horse field. Down the back stretch they go. They've left the 6 behind them, and Mac and Rome heads toward the 5. Captain Sparrow has been taken off the lead and races some 3.5 lengths back, joined by Titan Tempo, rail rubbing as they leave the 5. Battle Angel is 5 lengths back. Brenda Boy now asks for an effort on the outside, and the General last, but being urged. Just about a half a mile to run. They go spinning into the turn, and it's a Mac and Rome attempting to escape them. Here is Captain Sparrow coming once again, needing to find 2.5 lengths to get to Mac and Rome. Titan Tempo is a further 2 lengths back. Being driven out, that's a Brenda Boy. The General is second from the back, and Battle Angel is last. They've left the 3, about to arrive at the 5/16th. Mac and Rome attempting to escape them. Here is Captain Sparrow now asked to sprout wings on the outside. Mac and Rome in the green turns for home. Captain Sparrow now coming with a burst on the outside. Mac and Rome being grabbed by Captain Sparrow. These two battle, and Captain Sparrow sticks the noseband in front. Mac and Rome looks to be fading. Titan Tempo is over on the rail, and Brenda Boy will have to run on late, but it is Captain Sparrow in front, arriving at the 16th pole. Mac and Rome refusing to quit, but left back. Here is a Brenda Boy now charging on the outside. Captain Sparrow driven flat to the boards. Brenda Boy closing. Could be Captain Sparrow over Brenda Boy. Then Mac and Rome and Titan Tempo.
And they're off and racing. Propellant wants that lead, so to Neo Star. I Dream Again is quite early. Right there on the premises too, that's Unspun, rushing up on the rail. That's interesting times ahead. So interesting times ahead. looks to just the leader. Interesting times ahead on Spun. On Spun now goes on from interesting times ahead. Then comes Neo Star, Propellant. I Dream Again is next, Rainsville. Allegiance comes next, then comes up Provident. Just behind them, that's Oil Machine. Going down beside Oil Machine, that's Mr. Senator. Then comes Here Comes Doc, and racing at the back of the field, that is Power from Above. They go past the 4 and head towards the 3. And it is Unspun on that lead. Neo Star attacking into second, right there in the 3rd and under a drive. That is the interesting times ahead. Still watching them from 4th and trying to get some momentum going. That's I Dream Again. They're coming at the top of the lane, and it's Unspun. Neo Star is right there too. It's Unspun. Neo Star trying to get to Unspun. Interesting times ahead. Finds another win, but Unspun keeps on rolling. Coming to the furlong pole, it's Unspun in the Typewriter Trophy. Traveling well, also coming on and coming late. That's Rainsville, but Unspun is still in front and still enjoys a 2.5 lead. Interesting times ahead, trying to come back. Unspun in front, and Unspun has done enough in the Typewriter Trophy. Unspun beats Interesting times ahead. Got tied for 3rd between Provident and Rainsville. Not too sure who's 5th.
And they're off. Sashan is the slowest to get away as they make their way now toward the 6. American Aviator, under a pumping ride, goes for that lead as they blast past the 6. Don Quezi chasing. Sensational Soul is there as they make their way down the far side. Fearless Mission has now moved into 3rd. Sensational is racing back in 4th. There goes H2O, Mr. Lee in between horses. Prince Roy racing in behind them. Star Quest hidden on the outside of Sashon running near the rail. And Burning Hedge has a lot of catching up to do last. They've left the half mile and make their way now toward the 7/16th, and it is American Aviator blazing the trail, leading up by almost 4 lengths. Don Quezi trying to cut into that lead and begins to do so as they slip past the 3. A break back to H2O now, hustled up and asked to get going. Fearless Mission is next. Prince Roy racing down against the rail. Burning Hedge has made some ground. Sensational Soul racing out wide, but they're into the lane. It's American Aviator, tested now by Don Quezi closing up on the outside. American Aviator gives way. Don Quezi now strikes the front under DeMar Williams as they approach the furlong pole. It is Don Quezi. American Aviator now being overtaken by H2O. Don Quezi with a 3-length lead inside the final 16th. H2O now gets rolling late. Don Quezi under pressure. H2O flying on the outside. They've gone by together. Could be H2O over Don Quezi. Then Fearless Mission. American Aviator further back. That is Prince Roy.
They're off and racing, a very clean start, all the way well, as Neo Star rushes down on the outside. That's Neo Star and Geolithic. These two are right up on that lead. Just behind them, that's Run Julie Run. Rainsville follows, and just tailing off about 5 lengths, 9 lengths separating the field. Maybe, and that's Inspire Force. They head towards the 7, and it is on that lead, Geolithic, just the leader from Neo Star. About 3 lengths to Run Julie Run, another 6 before we come to Rainsville, and still about 7 lengths racing at the back of the field. That's Inspire Force. Turnover on the backstretch, and just passing the 6, it's Geolithic on top, about 2 lengths in front of Neo Star. Another 3 before we come to Run Julie Run, contended to watching them from 3rd. 8 lengths opened up to Rainsville, and way out of it, Inspire Force has a lot of running to do as they go toward the half mile, and it is Geolithic on that lead, streaking off by 3 lengths. Run Julie Run is sent down on the inside and goes in chase. Backing out of it, that's Neo Star, about 6 lengths to Rainsville, hustled up and asked for more, and still about 10 lengths, and maybe hopelessly out of it, that's Inspire Force. They come towards the 3, and Run Julie Run now tackle Geolithic, and Geolithic relegated to 3rd as Neo Star comes back for more. Getting closer all the time, that's Rainsville also getting closer, and it's Inspire Force. They're at the top of the lane, and Run Julie Run is set alight. Neo Star is coming down on the outside. Run Julie Run coming to the furlong pole and looks to have a good looking lead, about 3 or 4 lengths. Run Julie Run and Action Pack Ray and Lewis looks to be slipping away. Coming home late though, that's Inspire Force. Run Julie Run. Inspire Force is the only threat, but no, not a big threat. As Run Julie Run runs away with the Legal Eye Trophy in the second. Run Julie Run by maybe 3.5. Inspire Force is second. Then comes Neo Star Rainsville back and forth. Starter Michael Sims is ready for a start. They're off and racing. Kismet misses it along with the Real Identity. Propellant goes for that lead. It's Propellant in front of Papa Gray racing back into second. Princess Aquila rushing up on the inside. So it's Propellant, Princess Aquila, and Papa Gray rushing down on the outside. Veliki Vicky, just beside Veliki Vicky. That's I'm Interested. Kismet has recovered after that bad break. Then comes Moneybox racing back there. Just behind Moneybox, the Real Identity recovering, also dancing in the breeze and left back out of it. That's a Sweet Victory. They go towards the 3, and it's Propellant on a 2.5 length lead. From racing in second, that's Papa Gray. Right there to the Real Identity, making eye-catching progress. Right against the Real Princess Aquila, also there. And coming on, that is Veliki Vicky, right in the mix of things too. That's I'm Interested, but it is Propellant bowling along on a 4 or 5 length lead, and Propellant could have left them all for dead. Propellant kicks away from these. Still running into second, that's Papa Gray. Propellant is totally in control, and Propellant will end devastating Dane Dawkins. He's third on the card. Propellant running away from them. Eased in the end. Propellant by double digits. Got tied for second. Could be Princess Aquila just over the Real Identity. Back in fourth, Papa Gray. Not too sure he's fifth.
They're off for the She's a Maneater Trophy. Is that a fact? Mamma Mia, they step out last. Fun Countdown got a good start with Tistock on the outside. California Crown is showing good dash. And California Crown leaves the 7 with a 1.5 length advantage. It's held over a Desert of Malibu as they run toward the 6. Mamma Mia has made ground and now moves down into third. Fun Countdown racing in between horses. Tistock toward the outside, and Is That a Fact? Hopeless at the back, a long way last. They're racing up toward the final 5/8, and California Crown strides out with a 5 or 6 length lead. It's held over Desert of Malibu going in chase. 2 lengths back to Mamma Mia. Fun Countdown in between horses. Tistock racing out 3 wide, and Is That a Fact? Yet to recover. A half a mile to run. Into the turn they go. Can they catch this California Crown? Fleet-footed and leading by 4 lengths. Desert of Malibu now sent in chase. Fun Countdown wound up by Robert Halladine. On the outside, that's a Tistock in the red and many colors. Mamma Mia has faded back badly. Is That a Fact? Forget that one. As they come charging past the 5/16th, about to come into the top of the lane. And Desert of Malibu has now snatched that lead. The rider having a peep behind as they leave the quarter pole. And it is Desert of Malibu under a vigorous ride from Radish, the sneaky fox Roman. He's opening up some 4 lengths. Here's Fun Countdown, the Mouttet Mile Miller now let loose on the outside, but it's Desert of Malibu, the mare, who continues to respond to the left-hand stick. Fun Countdown trying to cut into that lead. Desert of Malibu out in front. Here is Fun Countdown now beginning to close. Desert of Malibu driven to the boards. Fun Countdown diving. It's close. Close between Fun Countdown, Desert of Malibu. Then Is That a Fact? And Tistock back and forth. They're off for the Eros. Commandant almost went down and gives the rest a huge advantage as they make their way toward the 6. A Digital One shows speed. Toward the outside, Interesting Times ahead. Is That a Fact? Right there in the melee as they go flashing past the 6. On Spun races out wide. Tistock tucked in between horses. Wall Street Trader now moving down against the rail, and Commandant trying to recover after an awful beginning as they've left the 5 and make their way now toward the final half of a mile in the Eros. A Digital One just on that lead. Is That a Fact? Testing on the rail. Wall Street Trader as they leave the half mile now on the go. On Spun needs to find 4 or 5 lengths to get to that leader. Tistock 6 lengths. And at the back of the field, it's Interesting Times ahead as they've slipped past the 3 and make their way toward the 5/16th. A Digital One continues to hold the advantage. Tested now by Wall Street Trader. Is that a fact? Has faded back against the rail. Unspun is in between horses. A Tistock out wide and interesting times ahead, laboring at the back. But Wall Street Trader and a Digital One, these going at it. Here is Unspun now, wound up for a challenge. Tistock is also switched on the outside, but it's still wide open. Wall Street Trader just the leader. Digital One over on the rail. Here is Tistock now closing with a flourish on the outside. Wall Street Trader now beginning to give way. Digital One on the far side. Tistock nearest to us. It's close. Could be Tistock over Digital One. Then Wall Street Trader Unspun is fourth.
They're off on racing. Got a good break. The Senator, Mr. Senator, though, misses it and is left at the back of the field as they make their way to the clubhouse turn, and it's Geolithic on that lead. The Supremacy is right there too, right against the rail. That's Unspun. Neo Star comes next, then comes the Head Cornerstone. Just behind them, that is Super Alex. Out wide of Super Alex, that's the 9 horse, that's a Mojito. They make their way on the backstretch, and this is Geolithic in front of Supremacy Racing back there in second. Right there in third, that is Unspun. Making stealthy progress though, that's Mojito going down into third. Backing out into fourth, that's Unspun. Then comes Super Alex, also making progress, the Head Cornerstone. Neo Star comes next, then comes Rainsville. Right beside Rainsville, that's Further and Beyond. Then comes Sheer Delight, behind Sheer Delight. And that is Further and Beyond, and racing at the back of the field, Mr. Senator. They go past the 4 and head towards the 3, and it is now Mojito that goes on. Mojito sprinting away by about 6 lengths in front of chasing in second. That's Unspun. Coming on, this is Supremacy, but it is making the running Mojito in front, and it's all about Mojito coming to the furlong and a half pole, chasing hard though. It's Unspun trying to come on. That Supremacy out wide, coming on from that far back. It is a Sheer Delight also coming on too. That is a Super Alex, but Mojito has flown the coop. Mojito in the Kenneth Mattis OD Memorial Cup. Mojito beats Unspun. Running on for third, a very good effort from Super Alex. Then comes Sheer Delight back in fifth. That's Mr. Senator.
And they're off. Good start. Money Market goes away blazing for that lead. Mamma Mia chasing a length down on the outside. 3 lengths back to California Crown racing out wide of the favourite Unspun, now under a drive and asked to get closer. Fearless Force in the red races ahead of Champion Bubbler as they go charging up now toward the final half of a mile. They leave the half mile behind them and make their way now toward the final 3. Mamma Mia continues to chart the course by a length in 3 parts. Money Market is chasing. California Crown and Champion Bubbler are there. Fearless Force now moving on the outside. Unspun looking for room in between horses. And the breaking down on No Rider, that's Perfect Brew. They're coming into the top of the lane. Can they catch the fleet of foot Mamma Mia? Money Market trying to do so in the orange sleeves. The favourite Unspun now let loose as the rider becomes busy as they drive toward the furlong pole. Mamma Mia harassed all the while by Money Market, who now points the nose in front, but Mamma Mia ain't going anywhere. These two continue the duel in the stretch run. Mamma Mia over on the rail just. Money Market beginning to tire a bit, and it is Mamma Mia who is running away from in the end to win. I'm satisfied by maybe 4 lengths over Money Market. Unspun coming late is third. Champion Bubbler is fourth.
They're off and racing. Unruly Don gets a fly on the inside, so it's Unruly Don. Prince Aman is rushing up on the inside, on the outside. Right there too, that's Amma. McEnroe coming around horses too, so it's McEnroe vying for that lead, and now McEnroe goes on to lead. It's McEnroe in front of Unruly Don racing in second. Then comes Prince Aman. Amma comes next. Then comes Zulu Warrior. And Sheer Delight overtaking Rosetta. And they head toward the 6 furlong point, and McEnroe bouncing easily on a 4-length lead, about 4 lengths in front of Unruly Dawn, racing in second. Prince Aman is racing in third. Amma comes next, then comes a Sheer Delight. Just behind Sheer Delight, that's Zulu Warrior, 5 lengths away before we come to Rosetta, Captain Sparrow, and marginally racing at the back, that's Brenda Boy. They head toward the 4, and Macam Rome is still in front, about 2.5, maybe 3 lengths in front of Unruly Dawn, tracking intently in second. Watch Sheer Delight rushing down on the outside to go third. Amma is racing in fourth. Zulu Warrior getting closer, also getting closer and looking dangerous. That's Captain Sparrow. Brenda Boy is also coming on. Prince Aman left out of it and racing at the back of the field. That's Rosetta there at the top of the lane, and the Sheer Delight now has hits the front. It's Sheer Delight still in front of, still there and trying hard. That is Unruly Dawn. It's Sheer Delight in front of Unruly Dawn. Captain Sparrow is down there in third. It's Sheer Delight keeping on strongly with that lead. It's Sheer Delight in front. Captain Sparrow going down into second. Sheer Delight still in front. Captain Sparrow trying to get to Sheer Delight, but Sheer Delight is shaking loose of Captain Sparrow, getting closer. Sheer Delight keeping on from Captain Sparrow. That's the way they'll finish. Sheer Delight beats Captain Sparrow. Then comes Unruly Dawn, Brenda Boy, and back in fifth, that's Zulu Warrior. They're off on racing. Power from Above is left behind as Mamma Mia rushes through to try to get that lead. Neo Star rushing down in the middle, trying to keep the rail run. That is a Fun Can Done. So it's Neo Star in front of Mamma Mia, a Fun Can Done. Then comes Barnaby racing back in fourth. Then comes Blue Vinyl, just behind Blue Vinyl, Gravano, and tailing off badly at the back of the field. That is the Power from Above. They turn over on the backstretch and head toward the 6, and it is Neo Star attacked on the outside by Mamma Mia. Neo Star and Mamma Mia. They're tearing away about 8 lengths in front of Fun Can Done, racing in third. Then comes Barnaby back in fourth, right against the rail. That is Blue Vinyl, just on the outside of Blue Vinyl. Gravano going down and still hopelessly out of it. That is Power from Above. They head towards the 4, and it is Mamma Mia kicking away about 2 lengths from racing in second. Neo Star sent down in chase now. That is a Fun Can Done. Barnaby watches them from fourth. Also coming down into it, Gravano and a Blue Vinyl, and hopelessly out of it. That is Power from Above. They pass the 3, and it is now Fun Can Done who assumes the lead. Barnaby is threatening on the outside, fading back a bit. That's Mamma Mia trying to come into it. That's Gravano there at the top of the lane. Fun Can Done trying to tell this field that tata, it's Fun Can Done. Gravano trying to come down on Fun Can Done. Left back right there too. That is Barnaby, but it's now Gravano threatening Fun Can Done. What a race this is. It's Fun Can Done in front. Gravano coming down on the outside. Gravano has now point from Fun Can Done, trying to fight back. Gravano will spring the upset today. Gravano goes on to beat Fun Can Done. Then comes Blue Vinyl back in fourth. Barnaby.
Thank you for watching another video produced by the team from QuickGallopJaya.com and its YouTube channel, The Quick Galloper. Please stay on the channel for other enlightening videos on those involved in local horse racing. Please like, subscribe, and press the notification bell.